Good morning. Welcome back. We got a fun one today. So this morning, first thing we're going to do is haul a couple loads of soybeans that we harvested yesterday into the local elevator. Start filling some fall contracts that we've got. And then we're going to check out some drones this afternoon, spray drones. So let's get to it. That's a bad spot to ride there, Mr. Praying Mantis. You're not gonna last real long. Got our tarp on, checking tires, get ready to go. See, this here is the advantage to the new truck that we bought. Like, I'm not gonna get to drive that one a ton. A little field to farm stuff this fall, but not a lot to town because Phil's gonna be driving it. But now I get the nice used truck, the old Volvo, I guess at this point. But it's a heck of a step up from the Freightliners, so this is nice. All right, we got the first load dumped. Get on the outbound scale here and get our ticket. Said they were 12.7. That's good. That's what our combine said. 12.7, 56 test weight, less than 1 on the FM. Those are good. And we had less than a bushel difference from what our grain cart scale said, like 40 pounds different. We'll take that. That means they're really good beans. Made it back to the field here. We'll check our oil on our NRX, get the cart unloaded, and take in our second load. We had a good day yesterday. I mean, we didn't do a lot, but we had a good start. Everything's working well. It's awesome. We're gonna have to wash windows sometime here. Oh well. Alright, well, we got this unloaded. I'm not sure I had my, grain cart scale system set up quite right, because it was reading dashes and not an actual reading, which I'm a little frustrated with. They updated to a new app on the Libra system, and I don't think I've got it set up quite right yet. Plus, my iPad is always dead in that tractor, so it's hard to adjust anything. So I pulled it out, we plugged it in here. Hopefully I can get it charged up good. Good news is it's all on this truckload that I'm hauling to town, and we'll have a actual weight on it, and I can manually input that. But the whole reason I switched cart scale systems a couple years ago is because I was sick of losing data, and I'm still losing data. No, that's not bad. This one may have been my fault, but I had the app on and it was supposed to just work, and it didn't. Alright, so I brought that iPad back and it still won't connect, so I had an idea. I think our battery has died here. You're supposed to replace this every year. I thought I did it before wheat harvest. I bought a new pack of batteries. In fact, I bought a 4-pack of batteries. They're all still in there. So apparently I didn't actually replace it. So we're just going to go ahead and do that now and see if that fixes our problem. That's operator error and easy fix if it does. Okay, did I tell you I was bringing the iPad back? I think I told you I was bringing the iPad back. Anyway, it still wouldn't connect, so I replaced the battery in that box over there. I think I already told you that. I think so. It was this battery. But I put a new one in and it still didn't want to work, and so I was getting a little frustrated. Took it out, tried again a couple times, did some different, I don't know, I bent the tabs in a little bit so I had better connection, and then I got it to work, so now it seems to be good. So I gotta go. I'm gonna be late to my drone meeting here, so we're gonna go back up and hit the road. Alright, we have made it. We're somewhere around Bucyrus, Ohio. I don't really know. We're south and east of where I live, and the whole way down here I saw one combine until I got about 10 or 15 miles north of here, and now there's people working everywhere around here. But we are here with Thomas with Truss Services
LLC.
Okay. Thomas has got a drone business here, and we're checking out the DJI T50 right here. He's got his tender trailer over there. We'll go check out in a little bit. But yeah, we'll talk to him here as we sort of learning some stuff. But we're going to put this one in the air, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll just spray some water with it over the cornfield right behind us. And
yep.
So,
all right.
So I'm clicking all the settings I want to run. So I already have my demo field right behind the barn here already set. So I'm going to use it I already have my template made, so all of my use rates, speed, height, route spacing, all of that stuff is right here. We're actually going to run 5 gallons to the acre.
Okay.
Just so you can really see it. Go ahead and hit start. Just like that, we're good to go. So we'll step back.
So now after you have everything set up in the controller there, it's going to launch itself basically.
I always manually launch.
Okay.
So if something happens with power lines, trees, etc.,
You're very close to that barn. Holy cow. So you are controlling it to get it out to the field. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is completely autonomous. So it's in autonomous
So you've
mode.
basically said go,
Yep.
and it's going to find its paths and
Yeah, so
go on its own.
So it's automatically doing its thing. So there it's starting to spray. And it's a little windy day.
Yeah, it is a little windy, so the wind it's
Yeah,
blowing
it's
to the
going around
left there.
the water a little bit.
So I would imagine that the wind is more of a factor in your spray pattern than keeping the drone in the air.
Correct.
The drone doesn't have much, doesn't react to it much.
Correct.
What's your typical spray pattern width?
So we're able to do 32-foot swath. Most of the time we'll run between 30 and 32-foot swath.
Okay.
A lot of that will be determined on the wind. So anything between 0 and 5 mile an hour will run 32 foot. 5 to 8 will decrease it to 30, and then over, I'll say 8 mile an hour, we'll go even further down to say 26 if we need to be out there. But
Once you get over 10 mile an hour or so, it's time to shut it down?
Yeah.
Okay. If you are spraying in a little bit of a wind like that, 5 to 8 mile an hour wind, does it matter which direction? If you want a crosswind, a headwind, tailwind, or side to side, which was better? Any idea?
Honestly, if you can have a tail or a head-on wind,
It's better?
that would be best because it won't most generally affect your width.
Okay.
And the drone is thrusting the product straight down into the canopy, so you're able to have consistent coverage, and it's all controlled because the drone is thrusting it down.
Gotcha.
So
It's
yeah,
behind
you
the
can-
behind the barn over here, but we can
yeah,
watch
you
it
can
on the
see.
display.
And you can see that little icon in the middle of the screen there that says it's going to run out at that spot. So we have about 1.2 gallons left.
Oh, so right
Yeah.
in there it says that it's going to run out
Yep.
on its way back. So it's out over there now, and should run out here on its path back up the field.
Just like that.
No more liquid, it says.
So it gave us a template, and anyone who has a DJI drone knows that sound of returning to home. So it's actually set to go up to 100 feet. So, you know, if we have any trees or power
Sure.
lines, it'll automatically just go hopefully above it. So this is completely automatic coming home, and I will manually take over here to short.
So you land it manually. Oh my gosh, this thing is enormous. Do you take off and land manually when you're doing it on your trailer out spraying a field?
Always.
Always.
Yes.
Wow. All right, so that was pretty cool. So how many acres on average in an hour can you spray, or would you say that you did this summer?
So you'd be looking at right around 50 acres an hour with the T50 here. T40 was right around 40 acres an hour. I ran one last year across 8,000 acres and averaged, I believe, 45. So I'll say for T50s, I'm anticipating every bit of 50, if not 55 acres an hour.
And he was telling me that he thought we could spray 400 or 500 acres a day with one.
That is correct, yeah.
I that shocked me. I didn't think it was going to be quite that high, but that's a lot of acres. So, all right, what else do we need to talk about on them?
Oh, there's a bunch to go over.
We've been talking for a while, so I got to remember what we've talked about and go back through this stuff.
You can
Yep.
look at the controller here.
Okay.
So obviously we have an FPV camera on the drone, so you can see it's
See what
facing
it's
the barn.
looking at. Yep.
And then we have the map. And one of the settings in this controller is having us automatically, or having the drone automatically move to the most efficient route.
Right.
So like we ended right back here.
Yep.
It's having us start up here, so we're not carrying that weight any longer than we have to.
Hold on, time out. The neighbor's over here combining beans with some, I don't know what color that is. I've never seen
red.
it. Never seen that before in my life.
We're red guys around here.
I did bring my drone. We might have to throw it up and go film the neighbors in a little bit here. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, we could throw up another one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
film your drone with my drone. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I bet if you put that one in that combine's windshield, he'd be like, "What the heck is that?" That would. He probably would never see mine. That one would be a different story. So.
Yeah. So, for rightful reasons, with the size, with the capacity of this drone, you're never going to be, or rarely going to be using this for its camera.
It is not a. It's not a scouting drone that you're going to take out to use. Yeah.
In a rare circumstance, like let's say somebody's running 2 of these large scale lag drones and they are only running, or they're running 2, one of them crashes, they'll send the other one out to
go find it.
Yeah.
Sure, I can see that. Yeah.
But if you're operating right, you don't really have to worry about it.
Right.
Yeah, the firmware is automatically generating its most efficient route here. It showed us exactly right here in this summary the amount of area and the amount of gallons we used.
Right. So in that demo there, we sprayed 1.73 acres, used 8.6 gallons, which is the 5 gallons to the acre. So.
Yep. And we have our remaining amount right here, so we're able to see exactly how much we need.
That's cool.
And mix exactly how much we're going to use.
Yep.
So we don't have any leftover in the tank.
So for this field here, he's just got a small field for a demo there, but it's only got 1 1/4 acres remaining, so he only needs 6.2 gallons to finish the field. So you wouldn't put 10 gallons in there, and then have to carry around that extra weight. It's inefficient.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's cool.
So like after spraying out, I mean, I was filled up to 10.5 gallons. We only ate through 64% of battery.
Right.
So we were able to, if we wanted to refill it right now, we could send it out again and not have any issues with having
finishing that little bit
with
left.
that battery.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously for demo purposes, we're not charging any batteries with the generator or anything. So taking the serenity of silence right now. I mean,
Right.
besides the combine, we're really darn silent in the field when we're running.
How many generators are you running at a time when you're spraying? Now you're running 2 drones most of the time at a time, right?
With this trailer, we have two DJI generators built to charge these drones.
Yep.
We also have a Westinghouse right behind it, so basically if we fall behind on batteries,
Okay.
it's kind of a backup. If like in the case we did cover crops where we have either vacuums or blowers that require more pull, we'll run that 3rd generator, so it allows us to keep on top of all that type of stuff.
Seems like a case of we're doing things with electric vehicles. You know, super efficient, environmentally friendly electric vehicles. Never mind the generators running in the background to power all of that stuff. But yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. Let's go check out your trailer a little bit.
Sure. I was thinking when I've taken it apart.
Oh.
So we took off the tanks.
That's all right. So Thomas has got a very familiar looking PJ trailer here that looks a lot like the one that I bought last year for a seed business, with a few modifications. I don't know if you can see this modification up here, that it's, a little taller than mine. But basically he had 2, were they 1,000-gallon tanks?
Yes.
2,000-gallon tanks sitting over the axle here underneath. There's a pipe over there where they were hooked into that's his water capacity for a day, right? It should last you a day.
Yes.
2,000 gallons, I would
go
hope.
through just around 1,600 to 1,800 gallons a day.
Wow. Okay.
With 2 drones.
Spraying 2 gallons to the acre.
Yep.
That's a lot of acres, guys. That's a lot of acres. So
yeah.
But then underneath up here, he's got his 2 generators that are charging the drone batteries. That's these orange ones here, and then the other one that he's got, obviously the gas to power the generators. What's this box here?
So this is our cover crop box. This is a very much work in progress, but we developed a scab together bulk cover crop seed handler. So this will hold right around 5,000 pounds of cover crop seed, and we were able to spread just around 1,100 acres of cover crop this past season with this exact unit. We're still working on some modifications. We're still working on some final adjustments with it, but it worked pretty darn good.
So that's another thing. I mean, we didn't show it there, but you can put a seeder, a dry spreader, basically, on these drones. Spread cover crop seed. I suppose you could put fertilizer in them if you wanted to.
Yeah, anything.
I don't know if that's a good idea with a drone and like sensitive electronics, but you could do it. But yeah, so he rigged up this because thrifty people don't buy $15,000 to $20,000 cover crop seeder attachments for drones. They build their own, right?
Absolutely.
Right, and figured out, you know, how to get everything mixed in there. And so you were spreading cover crops at what rate?
28.5 and also 35 pound to the acre.
That seems like a lot to me. So when we spread clover seed in our wheat, which we do in like February, March time frame, we use like 6 pounds to the acre. So when he told me they were spreading it at that heavy rate, I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty heavy.
Right.
Seems like a lot, but your cedar holds, was it 100,
115, yeah.
So you're getting 4 acres on a fill with that. That's
Roughly.
reasonable, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and also speaking of building, you know, the whole trailer we built for this. Like,
right.
We did not purchase this trailer. We built, basically we bought the trailer itself, just like what you got.
Yep.
And we built the whole overhead structure, the plumbing, basically everything that we need to make a drone operation run.
Right. So let's look at it a little closer here. So he's got his plumbing there for the water tanks, and he had a fill down through the floor here where you could hook into fill. Then he's got a ladder and some stairs going up. Plumbing kind of goes underneath the stairs over there. And then we come up here to this platform. Was this platform part of the trailer, or did you add this?
This was actually a part of the trailer.
Mine doesn't have that.
I was lucky to find one.
Mine doesn't have that. All right.
I know, I was lucky. But
So then you got some mix cones here, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
what
we
do you?
have
What's the
200.
process?
So we have 2 pumps, one gas one down here and then an electric one down there.
Okay. So you use your gas one to fill up to here?
No.
No. Okay.
So how this works is, you know, we have 2 100-gallon inductors. Our goal with 2 of them is that we're able to mix in one and be pulling from the other. So we're never waiting on mixing.
Right.
So when we're in the field, when we enter in, you know, we got to set up the drones. We got to log our records. We got to, you know, we got finesse a lot of things besides mixing.
Nice desk here for record keeping purposes. That looks nice.
Oh yeah, it's what I call the workstation.
Workstation, yep.
So what we'll do, right here I have the switch for the electric pump.
Okay.
So I'll start that and I'm able to fill this tank with that electric pump.
From
So
your bulk
it's-
tanks
yes.
down below.
So it's
Okay.
sucking from down below up to here. With those tote pumps, people would think, you know, they're so slow, you know, you won't be able to handle the capacity. We probably put 20,000 gallons worth of water through that pump this year alone.
Nice.
So we'll just say it worked great.
Yeah.
And
well, if you're pulling out of another one, it's not like it has to be high speed where you got to fill it right now. So.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what we would do is we'll get fluid in one, and then the gas is solely for agitation
Okay.
and then pushing out to the drone,
drone.
which we have a hose reel that we send out to the drone.
Right.
So we'll mix our chemical in one, we'll get the drones in the air, then start another mix
Mixing the other
here
one.
while the other guys are watching the drones and swapping batteries.
Sure.
So yeah, workstation here. Then we have
Chargers.
our chargers or our cooling boxes.
Uh-huh.
And this is what I was telling you about earlier. This is our nozzle that we developed that will go into those lids on those drones.
Yep. So
for
on
quick
the
fill.
on the top of his the lids on his spray drones, he's got like a quick fill port where you just stick it right through. You don't have to take the lids on and off every
Yep.
time. That nozzle sticks right down through it.
So I'm able to swap battery at the same time as filling. I'm able to get the drone, basically bring it in, land it, and then send it out all within 30 seconds.
That's impressive.
So, and that's how I'm able to accomplish 50 plus acres an hour.
So yeah, sure. So if you're running 2 drones, how long does it take from the time you take it off and automate it to the point where it is back and you need to take over control and land it? How long is it out spraying for?
It depends on the field. So a lot of times it's able to get rid of the product in probably 2 to 3 minutes.
Ooh, okay. So
Yeah,
2 to 3
it's
minutes.
quick.
And how long does it take from the time you take control, land, and get it back to the automated?
Well, like I said, the time that it's on the platform is about 30 seconds. And I would say I give 30 seconds to a minute, depending on where I'm
Each
parked.
way, depending on.
Yeah, so like if I'm parked on the edge of the field like we are right here, I can just
You're
fly straight out.
10
and go.
seconds out, and it's no big
Whereas
deal.
if I have to fly over there behind the house, I have to, taxi over there and then go, and it just takes a lot more time. So a lot of it's case by case, but most generally you're able to get some.
What I'm trying to get at here is if you've got 2 of these drones in the air and you've got 2.5 minutes while one's spraying to get the other one landed, filled, and back out, you don't have time to mess with that stuff with anything else. Like you are busy all day.
Yeah.
And you might get 500 acres or maybe closer to 1,000 with 2 drones.
Yep.
But you're working for it. It's not easy.
Yeah. So we ran a 3-person rig or 3-person crew on this rig.
Okay.
And one person was doing the filling, or as far as the drones and the batteries. One person was manning the other drone, and one person was doing the chemical mixing. So we had a very good system, a very good balance going, where not one person is juggling a bunch of different tasks. But everybody's able to do everything. They could rotate positions. So, and that's how to keep a drone rig running.
Yeah.
That's how to do it efficiently.
Yeah. See, now I pulled up here and I saw this trailer and I'm like, we could stack boxes too high on this thing. We could haul lots of seed. Problem is I already don't load my trailer up as full as I could because we're way overweight if we would do that. So it doesn't gain me any seed hauling capacity. All right, so we saw it fly. We saw his cool trailer over here. Tell us a little bit more about what it is exactly that you do. So I know that you're spraying, you're doing custom spraying, right?
Yep.
How big of an area roughly? If somebody wanted to have you do some, obviously the season is pretty well over for this year.
Right.
But say somebody wanted to have you spray for them next year, how far will you go? Any details about that?
Yeah, so we're generally within an hour to 2 hours from where we're at here in Bucyrus. We're able to handle most generally any acreage. Now, the time frame of that acreage does dictate a lot. So like in the midst of the corn fungicide season, we are very limited to where we can go or how far we can travel. But when it comes to like wheat fungicide, when it comes to any spot spraying or any, I'll call them out of season type projects, those types of things I'd be willing to drive for.
So the biggest fit for these drone sprayers that everybody is seeing right now is tassel fungicide on corn, right? Because we all have ground rig sprayers that we can spray the wheat, we can spray the beans, we can spray early season corn. We can't get through the tall corn. Unless you got a Haggie or a tall high clearance sprayer, you can't do it. So that's where these drone sprayers have a huge immediate impact. And that's going to be these guys' busy season. And I saw it firsthand this year when I tried to get somebody to come and spray some of our corn, where we had done that tiling this year to come with a drone and spray it just because the field was so rough. I couldn't get it done. And I thought I started early enough trying to line that up, but the first company I called, who was not Thomas, they basically left me hanging with no response. Wasn't real happy about that. I tried calling him, but he was busy, and I don't blame him one bit. So, that's clearly their busy season. Roughly, how many acres did you cover last year with your drone sprayers? And tell us a little bit more. So you have 4 drones, right?
Yep.
4 drones, basically running 2 at a time. Kind of had 2 different tender crews out, I guess, spraying. How many acres did you guys cover?
Yeah. So in totality, we have 6 drones.
6, okay.
Some of which we have been doing demos with.
Sure.
Just like what we did today. With the 4 drones we were putting acres on this season, we did just shy of 18,000.
18,000 with a drone sprayer, and I hear all the time that you can't get anything done with them. They don't have that kind of capacity.
And most of
That's
that was
a lot
in
of
6
acres,
weeks.
guys. And yeah,
6 weeks.
Yeah, it's a short window for this corn fungicide. Now we had, when you're covering as much ground and area as he is, certain areas are going to get planted sooner than others, so there's going to be a wider application window than on our farm specifically, generally, where we've got maybe 2 weeks. And so that helps you cover some acres and stuff. But yeah, so in addition to spraying and doing the custom application side of it, you do sell these drones and do some service work as well, right?
Yeah.
So who should be thinking about buying one of these? Who's the right customer?
Yeah, so there's farmers that think they're paying too much to the custom applicators. If it's the Haggie, if it's the airplane, they want to internalize that type of work. So farmers like Nathan here,
I don't think I'm paying too much. I just like to control things.
Yeah. But also just the flexibility that brings, not only just not having to pay that price, like year to year, but also being able to do tests, being able to apply different type of products,
trial work
across one field.
Timing. The control is big. Like, I do really well with my Hagie guy. He does a great job for me and lets me do the tests and stuff like that. But if you're hiring an airplane to come in and spray your stuff, or a helicopter, my experience, and this is just from my experience, but they're going to spray what they want to spray, when they want to spray it, how they want to spray it, and they don't even tell you when they're coming. They're just going to do it. That doesn't work for me. That's why I've worked with the Hagie, but that's a big reason why I think one of these drones is a good fit for us.
Yeah.
Do you work with many commercial guys that are doing what you're doing with, not necessarily spraying their own acres, but doing custom work?
Yeah. I've seen basically everyone from doing it themselves on their farm to fully custom and the hybrid of in between. Ultimately, there's a market for it pretty much everywhere. Like, there are acres everywhere, and to be honest, that is what's beautiful about this. Like, I've been asked multiple times, aren't I setting other people up to be my competitors? And like, ultimately, yes, but
there is so much demand.
At the end of the day, there's a guy 5 miles down the road from me that we're not butting heads barely at all because of the amount of acres that there is to go around.
I couldn't get it done when I needed it done. There's such a huge demand for guys that are doing custom drone application stuff that I don't think that's going to be a problem for you. So, all right, what about stuff like this? Do you do trailers? Do you design them for guys? Do you build them? Do you do any of that stuff?
Yeah, so we do trailer design, trailer building. We do have the option of templates as well. Okay. So we have basically not one size fits all, but we definitely have something that would fit everybody's operation. If it's a small operation looking to do their own stuff, or if it's fully custom trying to get some serious acres covered in a day.
Okay. I have to switch hands because my arm's falling asleep. All right, so now I'm going to stand on this side. All right, one last question. Tomorrow, I'm going down to Longdon to the Farm Science Review. I'm going to walk past probably no less than 10 different people that are going to try and sell me a drone. Yep. Why should I buy it from you?
Well, ultimately, it's what service is going to be backed by that drone. So there's multiple people that I know that have ran to me as a dealer because they were not satisfied with the support from other people. Now, anyone can blow smoke anywhere. You know, they can say that they're going to provide. It's when the rubber meets the road, what's going to happen? You know, when that time gets busy, when you are down and you need service or you need parts, what's going to happen? And ultimately, we're here to help. We're here to use our own operation as almost an experiment to provide other people with the knowledge that we learn from using the drones, using our trailers, you know, all the stuff that we've encountered over the last 18,000+ acres to help everybody else. We're users, we're also sellers. We're not here just to blow smoke. We're not here to sell a product that we know nothing about. We're here to sell something that we know, we use, we trust, and it works.
Yeah. Just before this, we were talking a little bit, and I kind of compared it to what I do with seed, right? So I sell seed, but one of my biggest selling points, if you will, is that I use the seed that I sell. I plant it, I walk it, I harvest it. I know my products as well as anybody knows my products, and so I feel like I am more suited to make recommendations to my customers who farm in the same conditions that I do. It's a lot similar to what Thomas is doing with the drones here. He's using them, he's got a ton of experience with these things, and so if you have a problem, there's a pretty good chance he's already had that problem too, and will know how to fix it for you. So
exactly.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate you having me down. It's really cool to check this stuff out. All right, so like I said earlier, I did bring my drone, and there's a red combine across the road over there, and there's a red ripper on the other side of this barn, and there's dust way down there. It's his family across the road here, so he said I can film it, and we'll put some red iron. I don't even believe they make this stuff. We'll put it on the channel for you guys. Somebody will be happy about it. All right, well, we got our footage. See if we can get it off of there to get into this video. Well, you guys will already know that at this point. But Thomas, thank you again. Yep. So I will be at Farm Science Review tomorrow, which is probably today for those of you watching this, Wednesday the 18th. If you're watching this in the morning or on your way down to the show, come check out the Golden Harvest booth at 1 o'clock. I'm doing my interview there with Wade, our agronomist. Thomas, you're going to be there on Thursday?
Yep.
Just walking around the show?
Yeah.
So if you see him, say hi. Go buy a drone.
We'll be wearing our shirts and I'll say hard to miss.
Hard to miss. You would say that, but you know how hard it is to find somebody that you just know is at that show? It is not easy. It's a pretty big one. So anyway, thanks again. You got a great operation here, and we'll be in touch.
Appreciate it.
We're going to get a drone for our farm. I'm sure it's going to happen. I just have to get all the licenses in place. That's what's got to happen first here. So, all right. Let's go figure out where we're going next. All right. Well, that was really interesting. We learned a lot there talking to Thomas. I appreciate him having me down, sharing all that stuff about the drone, showing me the drones, the trailer. He had one of the P100 Pros there as well. We didn't fly it, but I was able to learn a little bit more about that and why he prefers the DJI drone over the XAG drone. Just a lot of differences, or little differences between stuff, but really cool to see all of that and to figure all this stuff out. Like I said, we've been wanting to get a drone for a long time. It's the legal side of it that kind of has been holding me back. He kind of walked me through a lot of that and what all it takes and stuff. And basically, you got to get a drone so you have a serial number, so you can get a tail number, so you can get some of the exemptions and stuff filed. There's one of the exemptions that takes maybe 6 months to get. That's kind of the problem. And so we need to kind of do something now to be ready for next spring is more or less it. I think there are a lot of people that are flying these drones, I don't want to say illegally, but without going through all the proper steps. I am way too public for that. So we're going to do it right, make sure we've got everything in place. Like I said, I already do have some testing set up that I will need for this. I need to do some more on the FAA side. I just need to get off my butt and start doing it and make this happen. It's not a availability or a cost or any of that side of stuff that's holding me back. It's just being lazy and not getting the paperwork done. So we'll get there. Anyway, from here, we are on our way down to Marysville, Ohio, is where I'm spending the night, getting ready to go to Farm Science Review tomorrow, to the farm show. So we got about an hour drive ahead of us. I was going to try and see if any of the seed company people are down here and wanted to get together tonight or do something, but the hotels where most of the people are staying are either booked or outrageously expensive. So I'm staying a little farther away than maybe I would have preferred, but that's okay. To save half the cost on the hotel, I don't need to be 10 miles away. I can be 30 miles away. It's fine. So we'll go find ourselves some dinner and edit some YouTube video. That's what we're going to do tonight.